The Las Vegas Raiders just gave fans something real to get excited about, their mock game. And we finally got our hands on the first full-speed footage of the season. If you're a die-hard Raiders fan, you're going to want to hear every second of this breakdown. Today, we're diving deep into the tape from that 11-on-11 action, full-speed reps, real intensity, and a first look at how this squad is shaping up before this season kicks off. Unlike normal practices where cameras are off limits, this mock game opened the gates and the footage. It tells a story. But before we jump into the details, if you're a true Raiders fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and smash the bell icon so you never miss breaking news and in-depth analysis. All right, let's get into it. On the very first play, we saw Geno Smith keep it on a slick quarterback option. He read defender #29. That's Chris Smith. And the moment Smith stepped forward to commit, Geno pulled the ball and made the right call. Smart, sharp, and fast. That play ended in a touchdown, and it's just one of many showing how dialed in this offense looks. Looking at the offensive line, it seems like the first team unit was on the field. DJ Glaze, Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Alex Kappa, and Jordan Meredith. Interestingly, Paris Johnson Jr. wasn't with the first team, definitely something to watch. There's even a play where Johnson's positioning just doesn't look right. We'll get to that in a moment. But the vibe out there? Competitive, intense. No dirty hits, but real football, tackling, blocking, pancake attempts. This wasn't a walkthrough. This was a statement. The Raiders' defense just sent a message, and backup or not, it was loud. If you're wondering who's standing out during camp, names like Greedy Vance, Jalen Smith, and Matt Jones are making it impossible to ignore them. Let's talk about this one rep, because it was all defense. Greedy Vance, sharp and explosive, jumped the route and broke up the pass like a seasoned vet. That play alone would have fired up any defensive coach. He was covering Philip Dorsett and he shut it down cold. Now on to the trenches. Jordan Meredith at #61, Alex Kappa, and DJ Glaze were in on the offensive line. It's looking like the first team front was out there. Geno Smith was under center, but this rep, it ended in what would have been a sack in a live game. What caused it? Let's break it down. The Raiders ran a well-designed defensive line stunt, and it worked beautifully. Linebacker #54, Jalen Smith, and #42, Matt Jones, came flying in with perfectly timed blitz. It wasn't just pressure, it was collapse. The QB had no time. On the interior, communication faltered. The swap on the blocking was too slow. The guard and center didn't pass the defender quickly enough, and Jalen Smith slipped right through. To be fair, Jordan Meredith gave his all. He leaned hard into his assignment, trying to pass off the rusher. But when you're not anchoring with power, and the stunt is that quick, it exposes the gap. Meanwhile, DJ Glaze handled his edge cleanly. The running back, too, picked up Matt Jones with solid technique. But the inside miscue cost them. This wasn't just a blown rep, it was a reminder. The Raiders' backup defense is cooking. With execution like that, depth might be a strength this year, not a weakness. This play was chaos, the kind of chaos that wins or loses games in real time. And for the Raiders' offensive line, it was a reality check. The snap comes in. The pressure builds instantly. And the breakdown, it starts right at the middle. Linebacker Jalen Smith #54 flies through untouched. That shouldn't happen, not with a veteran QB like Geno Smith in the backfield. The communication, a split second too late. The linemen failed to pass off their blocks in time, and that delay turns into a sack, or at best, a bone-rattling hit. But here's what really stands out. Jalen Smith, in the middle of the action, calls out a teammate for being misaligned. Get inside, wrong alignment. That's leadership, plain and simple. That's what the Raiders have been missing on defense in recent years. Guys who not only play fast, but keep others accountable in the heat of a play. Expect this. Blitz and lots of them. Defensive coordinator Patrick Graham is dialing up pressure this season. If the offensive line doesn't tighten up fast, Raiders practices might start looking like war zones. Let's move to another rep. This one featured Jackson Powers Johnson against a clever defensive stunt involving Adam Butler and Terry Wilson. Butler's job was to occupy the right guard, but it doesn't go exactly to plan. Even so, Tyree still finds a lane. JPJ gets his hands on him and manages to redirect the pressure, but just barely. And pressure, even if it's not a sack, is still a win for the defense. Meanwhile, on the outside, Paris Johnson Jr. doesn't offer much help to DJ Glaze. The DB makes his way around with little resistance. Could Glaze have played it better? Maybe, but it's Johnson's delayed reaction that lets the edge go unsealed. These reps are where the Raiders either sharpen their sword or expose cracks. And in this case, the defense continues to win those moments. The offensive line isn't broken, but it's not synced yet. Preseason will tell us if that changes, because pressure like this, it doesn't wait. There's a saying in football, your offensive line is only as strong as its weakest link. And in this rep, the Raiders' right side had a few teaching moments, even if some individuals shined. First, DJ Glaze deserves credit. Outside of one slip-up we'll cover later, he held his ground and looked far more polished than expected. He's showing flashes of real starting potential. On the other hand, Jackson Powers Johnson didn't look as comfortable at right guard, a position shift that may be affecting his footwork and reaction time. He's played mostly left guard and center, so this adjustment could take time. Still, he needs to be quicker, especially in recognizing blitz and shifting protections. The Raiders came out in a spread formation, running a quick game concept designed to give Geno Smith immediate reads. You've got Ashton Jenney in the backfield and Brock Bowers lined up, likely matched against a linebacker or safety. Geno's in shotgun, reading the field off a three-step drop. This is what fans can expect from the 2024 Raiders. Quick reads, spread sets, and aggressive passing out of the gun. The left side, particularly the left tackle and guard, did their jobs well, holding up against their assignments and giving Geno the time he needed. And then, boom, Geno unloads a deep bomb downfield, perfect spiral, right in stride. The target, Philip Dorsett, who burns #27 Sam Webb on a clean route. Webb was likely in man coverage, but it's hard to tell from the wide angle. Safety #29 rotated late, possibly in a single high look, maybe cover one, or a hybrid zone man read. Dorsett tracked the ball beautifully and made the grab. Huge play, huge confidence booster. While Sam Webb was in tight coverage, Jalen Smith's positioning suggests a zone responsibility, possibly a cover one shell with underneath zone support. Either way, the mismatch gave Geno just enough daylight to drop the throw in. Even in the middle of highlight plays, the trenches never lie, and on this snap, DJ Glaze finally showed a crack. While Geno Smith was launching a deep touchdown, trouble was brewing off the edge. This was the one rep where Jafari Harvey, an undrafted rookie wearing #91, beat Glaze with a quick swat move. It wasn't a classic cross chop, more of a rip and slip, but it worked. Would it have been a sack in live action? Probably. The angle makes it tough to confirm, but Harvey had the edge, and in real game speed, Geno might have gone down before the throw. Elsewhere, things looked more secure. The interior linemen, possibly Will Putnam or Jordan Meredith, held firm. And on the blind side, Colton Miller showed his usual dominance. He punched, leaned as he often does, but kept his man in front of him. Solid rep. Now for the fireworks. Philip Dorsett, once again, roasted #27 Sam Webb deep. Clean release, pure speed, and a dime from Geno Smith. The coverage looked like man with a delayed rotation, possibly cover one, but Dorsett made Webb pay. That's two major downfield strikes in this session for Dorsett. Then came the defensive highlight of the day. There, Munford lined up at right tackle. Max Crosby lined up across from him. The result? Strip sack, scoop, and score. It was ruthless. Classic Crosby. He bullied his way past Munford and ripped the ball out of Aiden O'Connell's hands. Then he took it all the way back. Game wrecker stuff. Whether it was first-team defense against backups or not, Max made it look personal. We close this section with a beauty from Brock Bowers. One-on-one against Kyer Blue Kelly #36, he ran a clean fade, and Gino placed a perfect back shoulder throw. Touchdown. That was Bauer's second TD of the session, and he's proving why the Raiders invested in him. Size, hands, separation, the full package.